a game from August 15th, 2018.
Mm.
Tyler Anderson was the starter for the Colorado Rockies and had quite an outing. 4.1 innings pitched, 7 hits, 9 earned runs. He gave up 3 runs in both the first and the second inning. Anderson went on to lose his next 4 games before getting his final win of the season. To say that this was a lot of momentum built up is saying a lot. Like, that was really the slide of Tyler Anderson. The interesting thing is that game happened in Houston against the Astros, which, if you have been following it all, means there is a pretty good chance that the Astros were cheating in that game and tipping Tyler Anderson's breaking ball pitches.
Well, it's not even fair to say tipping. They were legitimately watching the calls and cheating and blew up. At that point, the Rockies were still kind of in the hunt, yeah?
Yeah, because they ended up tying the Dodgers for the division at the end of the season. That one win, if you could just go back and change one moment in time, that one win would have made it so they won the division, and I believe would have at least been the home team. Well, maybe not the home team. I think they would have been in the other series against one of those teams. I don't remember who the Dodgers played, but
it was this moment. I have been so fascinated, just deep in the schadenfreude of watching a team that at the time, like, everyone was rooting for the Astros because they had sucked for the several seasons previous. That they weren't the Yankees, they weren't the Dodgers.
And just to recap, anyone that doesn't know what's going on,
yeah.
Basically what happened was it's been found that the Houston Astros had a camera they were watching and then finding out when the breaking ball pitches were coming, and then they were banging a bat really loudly on the dugout so that their pitchers would know a breaking ball was coming and either not swing at it or be prepared to hit it.
It's so stupid, it's genius. There's so many advanced analytics or like algorithms that could be employed. No, they just had a camera in the outfield watching the signs from the catcher to the pitcher and then relaying that to a TV screen. And like all of the Twitter sleuths have like dug up footage of, it was like a guy just eating sunflower seeds watching a TV with a trash can sitting next to him as he would then just watch, change up, bang, bang. And now there's hours and hours of footage where you see breaking ball getting called, bang, bang, right after it, and then a player hitting or swinging or not swinging because of it. And the Rockies, Tyler Anderson got absolutely eaten up in a season where he was a super serviceable pitcher.
Yeah, he was still pretty good before that happened, and then he completely fell apart. He didn't make the postseason roster. Like, it was a mess. And, I mean, just the repercussions. So they think this started right before the Houston Astros playoff run. At least the Astros said they wanted to cheat in emails right before the playoff run where they beat the Dodgers in the World Series. And then we think that's been going on ever since. And they made the World Series again this year and made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, and it really sucks because it forces fans to have a little sympathy for both the Dodgers and Yankees, who lost very major postseason games in Houston due to this cheating. I think, and it's so stupid. Like, it's super unsophisticated. This year, they're saying that instead of banging, there were like very specific whistles that were getting sent out.
And the other thing that I don't know what the repercussions of this are, but all of their good players, maybe they're not that good.
Yeah,
Like, maybe Correa and Bregman and
Altuve.
Yeah, maybe they're just decent players who just had all of the help that they needed to be good players.
No, yeah, Altuve's hitting splits in his MVP season were huge, like vastly different at home and away. And in baseball, you can only be so good at cheating, because even then you could see instances where clearly they know what the pitch is and players still swing and miss. But it's so complicated that one hit can change the complexion of a game, and you have several hits that changes the complexion of a season, and a few hits in a postseason game. There you are, 2017 World Series champion Houston Astros.
Here is something interesting. the Washington Nationals from Washington, D.C. were the team that battled and beat the corruption of the Houston Astros. Just wanted to take that in for a second. Way to go, D.C.
Yeah, exactly.
But no one really knows what's going to happen. Like, this is so unprecedented. We were talking before. This is worse than anything the Patriots have done.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad. It's like on the level of in the NBA ref Donahue throwing games for teams.
Yeah. And that was like sexier scandal. This is just like John Oliver talks about stupid Watergate around some of the Trump scandals. This is just like, it's stupid. It's so brazen. And they have just such arrogance about them, going from being bottom feeders in the league to all of a sudden they're such a good team. They've got this swagger. They talk so much shit. They just had a scandal with their GM around domestic abuse. And
when that came out, there were journalists saying, like, something is wrong with the Houston, like, just everyone from Houston. They have this arrogance that they cannot be beaten. And, you know, they were the ones that denied the reporter from Detroit to talk to Verlander until the Baseball Writers Association said, no, you can't do that. And, like, there are all of these things, and it's going to be so fascinating to see what happens. There is not a punishment, like, declare them ineligible, make them get rid of all of their players. Like, what do you do?
It's so hard. Like, every team steals signs.
Yeah, which is allowed. You're allowed to steal signs.
But it has to be through, like, cunning, not just a video camera. Like, it's like if this were done in, like, 1994, it would be amazing because it would be leveraging this new technology in a way that no one could have imagined. But this is, like, a bunch of, like, 65-year-old executives thinking, like, oh, how can we game the system? And then just putting a camera in the outfield. But yeah, there's no precedent for how big this is, how far it's spanned, and because of the ability to crowdsource sleuthing, like, so many baseball nerds on the internet have all of this footage documenting this cheating. And then, yeah, another executive just sending an email. It's like, hey, how can we cheat to win games? Major League Baseball doesn't want to have to deal with this, but there's just no way to keep the integrity of the game and let the Astros slide by. Like, a financial fine's not going to solve this problem.
The other thing that just tells you how ingrained this was that there was this executive for the Astros who went to the Cardinals. His name was Chris Correa. He took information with him, and he ended up getting charged with 12 counts of corporate espionage, and the Cardinals had to give 2 draft picks to Houston for this cheating. It was the same organization. It was a Houston guy that left for St. Louis, like, oh, I'll cheat. And he was just thinking they cheat. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to follow. And if everything else wasn't crazy in the world, this would be a much bigger story.
Yeah.
But, like, everything else is crazy in the world.